Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Barry, that Goat Metal Show, with a drive-in talk edition. Haven't done one of these in a while. Hope everybody's okay, man. This is going to be one of these drive-in talk rants while I'm heading to work. While the stuff stays fresh in my brain, I can just put it out here to you guys now. Look, man, there's a lot of shit going on. I had planned on, today is September 11th, right? 24 years since the 9/11 attacks. I wanted to, give a huge shout out to my partners that was with me down at Ground Zero, Sharice Chappelle, Owen Ortiz. I was with them. We were down there. Actually, we got sent down there the 12th, which would have been tomorrow. But we were down there doing our thing, and unfortunately, with all that being said, they both ended up getting sick. I thank goodness to this day, I still haven't. I check myself, I go to the doctors, make sure everything's okay. So far, so good. But every time 9/11 pops up, I always think about that day and how things went down. I also remember that Slayer's album was coming out that time. Yeah, remember 2001. I think it was God Hates Us All. I remember it was scheduled to come out September 11th. I never forgot that. I'm not sure if they actually did they. Yeah, I think it was already out. I'm sure the record stores had it out there already. Set up that morning, and hey, who would have foreseen that, right? But yeah, with that being said, and also what's going on here in America's blowing up right now, man, with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, look, I don't talk political. You guys know I'm very middle grounded. People have their opinions on politics and things and all this other nonsense that goes on with politics and shit. But the one thing, the one thing you gotta say is that everything that I saw, whenever that guy Charlie Kirk would pop up in the YouTube algorithm for anything, and you saw him debating people, that's what hey man, look, that's what freedom of speech is, right? You go, you can debate, you can say what you want. Say, unfortunately, one side is gonna have their feelings hurt. And the fucked up thing about that is that when you have your feelings hurt, you do stupid shit. And I think that's what happened with Charlie. He definitely hurt some feelings, and he was a target. Unfortunately, it cost him his life. But it also gets me to the point of us being metalheads. Why, us being so vocal and always speaking our mind. That's the one thing I give metalheads when it comes to even metalheads who are like politically correct or whatever. They're not gonna go and take it to the extreme. I mean, we have that was the one thing of metal. You're supposed to be rebellious. You're supposed to be against the everything else. If anything, you got a belief or a standard, you stick to your belief and standard. And I think this also comes back to the topic of like when there's sketchy bands, where it's like you got bands that are sketchy and people don't like their sketchiness. And then what do? You threaten them, or you ban them, or you try to stop them from saying something, or whatever. And that's my thing with that, man. It's like, when will it end? I mean, unfortunately, look, as far as the Charlie Kirk again, I think there was a short that popped on one of the conservative YouTubers put a short where it showed him debating a guy about Jesus Christ, right? And the funny thing was, this guy had a Vital Remains shirt, and I thought that shit was hilarious. And they were going back about he was about the truth and Jesus, if this, that, and believe it was real. So Charlie Kirk was just there proving, like, going and going with his side of it, and it was it wasn't a back and forth where it was being malicious. Even with the metalhead was throwing out his questions, and Charlie Kirk was countering his questions with what he felt was facts. Now, look, when it comes to religion, everybody knows how I feel about religion. I would never discount someone's faith. Okay, if you want to stick to your faith and you feel the religious part of it, I always go after, because to me religion is just a fucking con job. It's been like that for years. Okay, religion is always going to be a thing where it's just going to cause wars and fucking propaganda and bullshit. So if you got a religious belief and it keeps you at peace with your religious belief, have at it, man. Have at it. But yeah, when it comes to this, where it's like, now you think about it, it's like, the man said how he felt, and again, I said he hurt a lot of feelings, and it got him killed. And like I said, that stuff like that also triggers me more, like I said, with the metalhead side of it, because we are people who speak freely, speak our mind. We do it through our music. We do it through this, through our channels and fucking posts and Instagrams and whatever. I don't know, man. I just go with that. Look, when you do stupid stuff like this, there's gonna be consequences involved, and I think I was talking with somebody yesterday about it. I said, man, look, whatever you thought you were doing by killing this man and silencing him, I think you're gonna make things a little worse now. Now it's like, free speech is definitely not gonna be free no more, because there's people who are celebrating this man's death, and you don't think that those people are gonna start being watched? Come on, man, think about it. It's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be a shit show, and I'm worried now that because of that shit show, we as metalheads are gonna get ridiculed for some of the things we like to do and like to do in our music and speak as freely as we want. It's gonna be a big shit show on either side. Whether you're fucking left, right, whatever, center, you're gonna get your shit. It's gonna be fucked up. It really is. You ain't gonna be able to express yourself the way you want, because somebody gonna kill you. So look, again, I'm sorry. This shit is like very depressing. But like I said, my main focus. I mean, besides the fact it was the 24th anniversary of 9/11, giving that remembrance to everybody, always in my heart. It's a day I'll never forget. I was there, saw everything, smelt everything. People talk about a war zone. That's a war zone. That was definitely a war zone. Something that will stay with me the rest of my life. And then to have this going on, yeah, man, we're in a weird time, man. But we'll strive on. All right, so yeah, sorry to make this shit just a fucking weird rant for you guys, and I know some of you guys are not really prone to stuff like this, but I just felt like it had to be said. So that's pretty much it, guys. Look, we'll try to get to better things. Just be on the lookout, for some more stuff from us. We got some things planned, and we'll keep this shit going. All right. This is Barry, that Goat Metal Show. Stay brutal.